So you stayed involved in your civilian career with military matters as well and veteran matters. You participated in the Michigan Committee for Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, or ESGR. You were active with the Military Officers Association of America, the United Veterans Council of Kent County, and the West Michigan Veterans Coalition. And all of that's to say you are currently a board member on the Michigan Military and Veterans Hall of Honor. And that's kind of why we have you on today, because we want to talk about an upcoming induction ceremony that the Hall of Honor is having for Michigan military and veterans for the class of 2020, which got diverted because of COVID. But that Hall of Honor is coming up. When and where will that induction ceremony be?
Yeah, the Hall of Honor does conduct an annual induction ceremony to recognize Michigan's most distinguished service members and veterans. We had our initial induction ceremony in 2019. COVID, of course, last year had to put the kibosh on that. But this year, in 2021, we are combining the induction class of 2020 and 2021 in our ceremony on Friday, November 19th at the Michigan History Museum in Lansing.
Well, it's going to be great to be able to get all of these veterans and military members or their family members together in person for an event on November 19th of 2021, beginning about 12:30 p.m. at the Michigan History Museum in Lansing. Talk to us a little bit, before we start talking specifically about the class of 2020, Paul, talk to us a little bit about what the mission or goal of the Hall of Honor is.
Yeah, the Michigan Military and Veterans Hall of Honor is a relatively new nonprofit entity created in 2017, and it's designed to have a place, a forum for recognizing Michigan citizens who have distinguished themselves either through exceptional service while in the military or exceptional public service after they've taken off the uniform. Our very first induction ceremony, as I said, was 2019. Beginning from a standing start, we filled that auditorium with over 240 people. Our mission is threefold. First is to recognize those individuals who the Hall of Honor believes are deserving of that recognition. And I'll tell you, Jim, that in my short time, just a couple of years with the Hall of Honor board, I have been really overwhelmed with the knowledge of some of the extraordinary people, Michiganders, who have served in uniform and had some extraordinary careers in uniform, and some individuals who have provided some really outstanding, extraordinary contributions to our society in a variety of ways. In recognizing these individuals, we hope to educate Michigan citizens, particularly young people, about military service as well as civic service, in order to instill an understanding of an appreciation for patriotism and civic virtue. As I said earlier, we're a new organization, so those two goals we think we are pretty good at executing at present. At some point in the future, as our organization matures, we hope to promote through scholarships, possibly nonprofit grants and other means, to promote the research and teaching of Michigan's military heritage, and more importantly, the importance of military service to citizenship and our responsibilities as citizens throughout the state and throughout the country. I'm particularly concerned about that last piece, since we know that those currently serving in uniform The active component, the reserve component in the National Guard amounts to less than 1% of the total population. And if you look at anyone with military service going all the way back to World War II, that figure represents only about 7% of the population. So, 90+% of the people in the population of the United States don't have direct military experience. And so an organization like the Hall of Honor is, I think, pretty important to educate people about what that looks like.
Well, and what's really interesting, and we're going to turn to the class of 2020 inductees here momentarily, but what's really interesting when you look at the inductees and you hear their individual stories, that's where history is really written, and that's where history can be taught to the general population, to our kids, to realize what some of these folks have done and sacrificed, both in service and then kind of what's unique about the Michigan Military and Veterans Hall of Honor is it also recognizes those folks who, after getting out of service, continue to, if you will, serve the country in their private sector jobs in a big way, and we'll talk about some of those.
Listen to this full episode and more on the Apple Podcasts app, Blog Talk Radio, Google Podcasts, or iHeartRadio, and now streaming on Amazon Music, Audible, and Spotify.